close out the show with your thoughts on Indika with a K.
Indika with a K. Indika is the game that kind of blew up over the last few weeks, which has been talked about as like an A24 video game. If the A24 were to make a video game, it is a game where you play as a nun who has to deliver a letter in 19th century Russia. She leaves the nunnery for the first time in a few years, and she has a voice in her head that is like kind of like her devil, like her personal devil, like her inner her inner dark thoughts that are talking to her throughout the entire game. And it's a narrative experience. It's about 2.5 hours at most. And the way that I would describe this game is very indulgent. Like it is an art house video game, right? The very beginning of this game, you are living the life of a nun almost in real time. Like you have to at one point spend 15 minutes just filling up a bucket from a well and then pouring it and then walking over and then filling it up and then pouring it. And they really take their time, and it's like you do the thing where you're like, oh, I get it, let's move on. But like that is part of it. And the game does move on very quickly after that. It is a very indulgent video game that is really bizarre. And throughout it, I was going between not hate, but I was like, oh, do I like this? Do I not like this? By the ending of it, I was like, no, this is a really great experience. And it was a story that I was moved by, and like it rocked me a little bit, and I did not expect that at all. It has really great themes of religion, of course, but also like the way that we all manipulate religion for our own personal gains. And it goes to a weird place where she is going on this journey with this person who is an outlaw, and they're kind of like, learning about each other and kind of the reasons why they're on the run, and it's kind of like a buddy cop type deal. But I was really impressed by this game, of course, visually, right? The game looks beautiful. It's a small Russian team that actually fled Russia during the war recently to finish this game, which is really incredible. It's an incredible story. You should look it up. But it's a small little team that made this beautiful game, and it's cinematic, right? Like, that's the best way I can describe it. Like, there are some shots here where it's like, wow, I've never seen this in a video game, period. The way that they play with, like, there's a shot where it's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like the there's like a mount on the person. It's like the first person. Like you're trying to like, I don't know how to describe
ghost
it.
Hunting.
The ghost hunting look. Like they do that a lot, but they also just have incredible shots where they
this thing.
Yes, where they play
Blair
with
Witch.
the Blair Witch type
Like
thing.
the train kid, right?
Yes, yeah.
Man, shout out to the train kid.
I hate him so much. He's so excited about these damn trains.
But yeah, no, it plays with the camera, and also the interesting thing about it, you can see that in the top left corner.
What's going on with this?
So they have an interesting like pixel art like interstitials in the game, where every time you pray, you get points, and the points are meaningless, but it's part of like the theme of the game, and they do have like full-on stopping of the game where it goes into like a pixel art style, like to tell her past and everything. This is not spoilers. This happens like within the first like few minutes of the game. So there is this juxtaposition between extraordinarily real and like horrifying like visuals to pixel art utopia. So that's the cool thing about it. And you guys had the conversation yesterday about Hellblade 2, right? Of like, should this be a video game? What is this even like worth it playing, right? This might be a better movie, if anything. This is a video game, and I'm happy it's a video game, even though it takes so much from movies and other forms of art. Like it is worth it to play, and it was made to be a video game. And yeah, by the time I finished it, I had a great time. This is a 8 out of 10. My biggest negative here, which just sucks so bad, because I feel like this would have been an 8.5, maybe 9. The sound design is really bad in this game. Like, I had so many moments where, like, the smaller things, right, when you're walking in snow, it's the same looping sound effect, the crunch, and there's no music really in the game, right, because it's it's supposed to be a realistic journey. So you're just walking around, you just hear the same thing. It's like, okay, I know I'm a video editor, I hear those things, I'm going to give that the pass. But then, there was constant lip syncing issues with my PS5 copy. Version of the game. I don't know if this has been updated, but I've been playing the game, and like there was multiple cutscenes where 2 seconds of delay between everything they were talking and doing and the actual sound effects. And I was like, oof, that is really rough. And also, again, like I understand that this is a Russian game and this is a dubbed version of the game, in English, but the sound mixing and not the voice acting, which I think is good, but the sound mixing of it all, there are moments where I'm like, oof, that sounds like they're on a Discord call. Like that sounds like this person was recorded in their home studio and it's peaking, and this person is in a professional studio, and it just does not match up. It's one of those things where it's like they put a lot of work into the visuals, but in a game like this, you need to put an equal amount in sound design. And I'm not usually the sound design person. I don't usually notice that stuff. So when I'm noticing it, I'm like, oof, that is something that they need to go forward in the next game and really focus on equally. But other than that, this is, I think it's their first game. What an incredible swing. Like this is a special game for a lot of people. And I think especially people that I think have a lot of baggage with religion will play this game and be immensely, moved by it. But the ending of it goes to a place where I'm like, fuck, that is crazy. And I think a lot of people use like the A24 of it all a lot. Like they're like, oh, this thing is like A24. Like that just means a spooky little weird game or weird experience. This truly is like an A24 experience. And if A24 had a logo in the beginning, I'd be like, yeah, that's a solid first game.
Huh.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
You should
might
try
have
it out.
sold me. Like hearing about like the religious themes and it being about people who've like grown up with that. That actually really sells me. I really want to try it out.
Yeah, it's really good.
Well, that's been Indika.